where we look at different metrics that the CFO or senior investment committee would look at. And they are NPV, IRR, MIRR, and a payback period. So we need some metrics there. First, we'll have a discount rate of 10%. That will be our required rate of return on this project. And then we have a reinvestment rate of 11%, and this is on cash inflows, and then a financing rate of 9. All right, so we'll use those assumptions. So there's our previous result of the cash flows. So we're going to hang on to that line, the 270 line. That's quite important. And we'll then open up the next section. All right, so you'll recall that we did this just in the prior slide. Cash flows for those years for this proposed project. So let's use our tools that we've used previously and start with NPV. NPV equals, and we all know the formula by now, yes, I hope, equals NPV, open parens. What is the rate? Rate is 10%, comma, shade the range, make sure you started to use 1 and not 0, close parens, and make sure we pay our bills to buy into the project, 270. So this number is 88,000 to the positive, so yes, we would recommend it would based on that. And I'm just going to move that down here. I'm going to do this to clean up and allow you to see the cell next to it. All right. Next is, would you run the IRR, and would that change anything? So IRR equals, this is the easier one, IRR, open parens, and it is the entire shaded region. So you'll remember that we take everything from T0 all the way to the end. And again, I'll do this so we can see it clearly. It's 24%, and that would be, yes, we would recommend, since it exceeds the 10% minimum. Now, be more explicit here also. Yes, we would recommend because it has a positive NPV, which means we earn more than 10%. All right, the MIRR, MIRR equals, and we have the formula, MIRR, open parens. And so we start with the values. So start with T0, comma, the financing rate, which we were given here, 9%, comma, the reinvestment rate, which we're given right there, 11%. So MIR drops from 24 to 18. Again, I will make it easier for you to see later on a spreadsheet. So it's 18%. And yes, we would recommend, since it is still over 10% minimum, even as an MIRR. All right, finally, payback period. So we know that payback period is this method where we just ignore time value of money, sacrilegious as it sounds. Oops, I'm sorry. So this was year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's look at the cumulative cash flow. And at T0, it's just what we spent. At T1, it's a negative that, but we got some money. And we just continue that over until we see a positive number. And we see right here, positive number occurs in year 3. So that means that year 2, we were short 44. Year 3, we make more than 44. So we need the proportion of year 3 that we need to accomplish getting to payback. So the answer is you take the 44, I just did a negative just to make it a positive result, divided by the 92. So it means how much of the year do we need to get 44,000? Answer, 48. So the payback period equals 2 plus 0.48. And the reason it's 2 plus is we're in our 3rd year. So it's between 2 and 3 years. So the answer is 2.48, which is about 2.5 years, which is approximately end of June in that 3rd year, if we're a calendar corporation. All right, so the answer is yes, yes, yes. We like this project. Payback is really not as definitive in this regard, but we're just making sure you get that judgmental sense.